This is B Harold's Cars. Right behind me, I have the 2021 Mercedes-Benz GLC 300. Now, there's things I like about this car, and there's things I don't like about this car. And I also might throw in a few fun facts that you might not know. Look, the Mercedes GLC has always been a vehicle of compact luxury. Now, as you know, we have the BMW X3 and the Audi Q5, and I want to compare it to those two because those two are honestly the biggest competitors of this car. But one thing that Mercedes nails right off the bat is luxury. Now, with the BMW, we have more handling traits and just more traits in general that are more driver oriented. Here in the GLC, it's automatic luxury the second you step into the vehicle. And Mercedes definitely wants you to think that. Automatically just touching the steering wheel, the materials feel absolutely amazing. Now, there's nice perforations on the steering wheel. It has kind of that nice beefy hold to it, and it just feels...
How can I help?
Now, that's Mercedes intervening, and the system actually does that all the time. I've been having trouble with it lately. I turned it off and then I turned it back on, and I even tried to calibrate it. Mercedes says there was a way to do it. I honestly have no idea how to fix that problem. Look, going back to the materials in the cabin, everything feels very tactile and cool to the touch. And what I mean by that is everything just feels real. A lot of cars these days, there's a lot of fake materials. And for example, I've been reading a little bit about this trim here on the center console and actually throughout the cabin in some places, and Mercedes is saying it's real wood. I don't think it is. It honestly feels like plastic, and even when you tap on it, it sounds like plastic too. Now, you do have this piano black sub trim, or at least that's what I like to call it, a trim within a trim. Sub trim, new term, B Harold's Cars. Around the air vents, you do have this really sleek and smooth aluminum trim. It feels good to the touch and it's very solid. Something I like about this car that a lot of other cars are doing these days is that the material of the headliners are not beige. Back then, almost all cars had beige headliners. Now it's either an option to get it beige, black, and some manufacturers even have some more colors. And no, I'm not just talking about Alcantara as an option. One thing I was noticing though when I was feeling the headliner is that right over here, it almost feels like I can push it all the way in. And even going back to the center console, there's certain areas that I'll push in and you hear a creaking noise. On a positive note though, these seats are lovely. They hold you in well and they feel good to the touch. And I mean the perforations, the stitching, the firmness, the softness in all different parts of the seat. I think my only complaint about the seat is that the lumbar support is on the side of the seat when all the seat controls are here on the door. Now, as you know, a lot of Mercedes-Benz models have always been like that, and they're still like that. This is a luxurious vehicle at the end of the day, and you're most likely going to be spending a lot of time in here. And even if you don't spend a lot of time in here, like a road trip, so to speak, you're going to be using this as a daily driver most likely. And in my book, that means you got to have a comfortable seat. But I feel like if they're going to have 99.9% of their seat settings here on the door, especially in this really cool brushed aluminum finish, they should just be all consolidated in one place. While we're on the doors though, I'm sure you noticed these big large circles on the aluminum trim, and that's the Burmester sound system. The GLC comes with a 13 speaker, 590 watt sound system, and I can keep going on and on, blah, 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 whatever, too technical. Now, it is optional. Mercedes-Benz offers it for around 850 bucks, I believe. It is worth it in my book. Now, the standard sound system sounds very good, but this is just a notch up better, and for 850 bucks, it's a bargain. So I've been driving the GLC now here on Mulholland Drive, one of my favorite roads to review cars on, and the handling is not bad. I do wish it was a little better, especially from a vehicle like this. There's a lot of body roll, and the steering just does not feel as direct as I would want it to feel. Now, even though it's not as direct as I said I'd want it to be, the weight is definitely a positive note in my book. Let's go to the back seat and see what it's like to be in the second row. It is pretty comfortable back here. As you can see on the doors, that nice aluminum trim that I was talking about in the front actually continues over to the rear. It is a standard bench, so you can fit 3 people there. Legroom, it's not too bad. It comes in second place when compared to the Audi and BMW. BMW coming in the number 3 slot and Audi taking first place. Headroom, I would say, is about average also. I'm 6 foot, and as you can see, I don't have a ton of room, but I'm definitely comfortable. Fuel economy here is not too bad. It's 22 in the city and 29 in the highway. Although, comparing this to its German rivals, the BMW and the Audi actually get better fuel economy. Now, in my book, the B Herald's Cars book to be exact, this car has more than enough power for the average daily driver. Now, if you want to bump it up to get a little more power here in the GLC, Mercedes actually offers what I like to call the light AMG. And that gives you almost 400 horsepower, and you'll definitely feel a difference compared to this. And then if you want to take it up from there, you could get the 63, which is a V8, and then you could even get a 63S, but the 63S only comes in the coupe version of the GLC. The exterior styling on the GLC is pretty simplistic for the most part, but I think they nailed it. It has that very luxurious, almost swooping body line type design. The color we have on here is called okay. It doesn't have super aggressive body lines like you're gonna get on some other vehicles, but I think Mercedes nailed it, especially in terms of proportions. Another thing about the exterior, I don't know if you guys noticed, but Mercedes actually put black accents on this car, and that's because this GLC has the AMG package, the AMG night styling package to be exact. Now, a few of the things that come with that are the diamond block grille. It looks way more aggressive than the standard grille on the GLC, and you also get blacked out trim around the windows, around the front, the rear, and all around the car in general. Look, it's a good change from that chrome you get on basically every other car. But my favorite thing in that package is the steering wheel that it comes with. It's much more beefy than the standard GLC steering wheel, and it's flat bottom. Also, the trim on it is switched from that standard piano black to the brushed aluminum trim that we have on the doors. Now, the infotainment system here in the GLC is Mercedes MBUX. Now, it's newly updated for 2021 with basically nothing. It's actually pretty similar to last year's model. It works good though, it's simplistic software, and you'll get to understand it probably within a day. Now, moving over to the boot of the vehicle, Mercedes does fall short in terms of room. In terms of styling, not so much. They have this nice cloth on the bottom, you have cargo hooks all around, it's easy to use, and it's definitely useful. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, put the bell notifications on, and I'll see y'all next time on B Herald's Cars.